So Nour, I just went cuddling with a villain. Did not feel very good.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know, you said something about today's video being cuddling a villain.
Nowhere near what I was saying. Hey guys, Nour here, and today we're talking about how to write a blood-curdling scene with a villain. But before we get started, I just want to thank you all for sharing your photos of my novel, Divinity Falling. I'm loving them so much, and if you haven't shared yours yet and want to, be sure to tag me on social media and use the hashtag Divinity Falling. I would love to see your photos or your fan art, and I will reshare all of them. Just be sure to tag me. Also, thank you all for your support, and I hope you're enjoying Addie and Adriel's adventure. It would really mean a lot if you shared a review of Divinity Falling on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Goodreads, or even YouTube or a blog. So please consider doing that when you're done reading to help out other readers in deciding if the book is right for them. Plus, it really helps the book have a better chance of being discovered. Okay, so it's October, and that made me want to talk about writing a scary story. Or better yet, a blood-curdling scene with a villain. Not all of us like writing horror, but most of us probably like writing a scary scene that makes our readers sweat as they flip through the pages. This scene isn't like any other scene, so why would it be written in the same manner? A great way you could create tension is by keeping sentences short and using words that are sensory and stand out. Short sentences speed up the pace. Think of them like a drumming heartbeat, and you want to create that illusion with words. And sensory words are detailed. For example, instead of writing "I fell into the lake," you'd write something more powerful like "I plummeted into the abyss." Try to avoid words like hurt or feel and replace them with more vivid and sensory descriptions when they come up. For instance, instead of writing "I felt bad," you could write "Electricity shot through me, sending jolts up my spine." That's more powerful and vivid than "I felt bad" or "I was hurt." Next, you want to bring in your villain. Now, the best types of villains are either calm and collected or reckless and unpredictable. When they're calm, there's something eerie about them. Like, they seem good, but we know that's not the case. They are plotting something quietly. And that is far scarier when we don't know what it is than when they tell us all about it. And when they're reckless and unpredictable, we're not sure what'll take them off. We're not even sure if they know what'll take them off. And that is just as dangerous as the calm and collected type. And please, don't make your villain stereotypical, or else I will find you and do nothing. And I will probably not find you. But just don't do it. Basically, don't make your villains ugly just to portray that they are villains. Not all villains are ugly. Some are good looking and even charming. I mean, just take a look at Ted Bundy, the infamous serial killer. He was handsome, charming, smart, and a ladies' man. And that's the scariest part about him. He looked so normal that it's impossible to imagine that he killed so many women. But he did. Your villain can be just as normal on the outside and twisted on the inside. They don't have to be a green witch that has a long nose and cackles a lot and can melt in water. Don't write a cliche villain, guys. And let the villain come into the scene with a motive. They're not just stopping by to be evil for a minute and then leave. This might be a short scene, but your villain has had a motive and plan from the start. Next, show us your main character's internal turmoil and external body language when they come face to face with the villain. This actually goes into showing versus telling. The trick here is that you want to create a balance between what you show and what is going on inside your character's mind. Basically, how does your character react to the villain? Do they sweat or quiver? Do they lose their voice or freeze up? And what are they thinking this entire time? Their thoughts can be summed up in a few simple sentences. Here's a little example from Divinity Falling. At that moment, I wanted to throw the cup in his face and make a run for it. And I was about to, but I remembered the other men in the room and how strong Salios was. They were all probably just as strong. I didn't have a fighting chance. That's it, just sum it up all nicely. And let's not forget an important part of a blood-curdling scene. The setting! Where the scene takes place matters. How the scene is portrayed matters. Newbie writers often forget about the setting and how powerful it can be. Getting lost in an abandoned circus is scary, Or how about losing power in your own home and keep seeing shadows everywhere and hearing the villain's footsteps? A setting can enhance the thrill, so use it to your advantage. Plus, when you describe the setting, you can delve into the 5 senses, and it can be a lot of fun describing smell, touch, sight, and all that good stuff. And last but not least, don't be afraid to let the villain destroy or kill something, even if the scene is happening early on. Perhaps they just destroy the cake that our main character just baked, but even that sets the tone for what's to come. Besides, fear begins with the little things. So, those are my tips for writing a curdling scene with a villain. In essence, you need tension, a villain who's not cliche, who has a motive and is willing to take action, even if recklessly, a setting, main character turmoil, and a balance of showing and telling. Let me know in the comments, do you enjoy writing scary scenes? I'd like to thank Sarah Frayne in my shout-out tier over at Patreon, as well as all my other patrons. Thank you so much. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe and follow me on social media, and I hope you're enjoying Divinity Falling. And remember, Nour for president!